Welcome to Barbie's bitch. Fuck.
You fucked it up.
No, we were supposed to do. Sorry, I didn't clarify. We're gonna keep this rolling because that was funny. So we're gonna do welcome to Barbie's bitch house, and then we do welcome to our club. Okay.
Okay.
So one.
Welcome
to Barbie's bitch house. Welcome to our club. Welcome to our club. Welcome bitches. Welcome bitches. Welcome bitches. Welcome bitches. That was hard. I almost lost.
The other one was probably easier.
That was like a mouthful. That's like that boys are cheats and liars. They're such a big disgrace. Oh, I love that song. We need to learn it.
I know most of it.
I know, like, up until baseball. Baseball, he thinks he's going to score. If you let him go all the way, then you are a horticulture studies flowers. Geologist studies rocks.
If you let him go all the way and then touch his cock.
No, it's like
something like that.
Cockroaches, bugs, butterflies, and bugs. Nothing makes him happier than a giant pair of jugglers. That's all I remember of that one. That's from the movie The Hot Chick.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be reading a different one again because we can't. We're just going to be reading random ones this season, I feel like.
But most of the SpongeBob and Squidward fanfictions are like only 2 chapters, so...
And I looked, and this one actually has 2 chapters. Like, the other chapter isn't like, oh my god, I read this when I was 12. It's an actual, like, 2-chapter thing, so...
Yeah.
And this one's filthy. This is the one I was talking about last episode that I was, like, thinking of. This 2 parts. It immediately just gets into the filth. So, let's just get right into it.
This was made in 2018. Okay. I'm reading. I'm looking at the part. This is smut at the top.
And this is smut.
Okay. I'm like...
Oh, God.
Oh,
God.
SpongeBob moaned as he laid his head back, biting his lip as Squidward picked his head up, staring at him, pressing his cock against the sponge's ass. Squidward grinned down at the little yellow thing.
I can picture this all in my head. I don't like it.
Watching as the boy squirmed, running his... That does not say tentacle. I think it's supposed to say tentacle, but it says tentacle. Down his soft yellow stomach. A short trip to find his little yellow cock. That's a lot to unpack in the first sentence.
Literally, he's about to unpack that spongy cock.
It's already out there. I don't think it was covered. Okay.
Whoever wrote this is a bad person.
You're like, I hope your family dies.
I hope
fire.
you burn in hell. Like, this is awful.
It says, you like this? Squidward asked as he pressed harder. SpongeBob nodded, his legs moving in a frenzy, wanting to feel more of what Squidward had to offer. More, he moaned as he moved his hips in a circular motion. So
he said, bring it around town.
God damn it, that's what I was thinking. Motherfucker. Motion that he may feel him better. I like reading it like that. It makes it worse.
It makes it a lot worse. Like, it makes me want to go chop it up. Like Raven, Dementia, Way, Darkness, Tina, Period, Blood,
Bring
and
it
Sanders.
Around
And do this. I just humped the air.
like
if you guys want to know.
like
This and like this and this and this and this and this.
This is reminding me of that TikTok trend where it was like, have you ever tried this one? Have you ever tried this one?
Oh my god.
Okay.
We are filthy individuals.
SpongeBob then wrapped him in his arms as he came in for a kiss, his legs being forced down like a butterfly. Everything was starting to grow warm and fuzzy. Oh, Squidward.
Did you roofie my ass?
I think I'm gonna...
Come! SpongeBob's like, did you fucking roofie me, Squidward?
SpongeBob's eyes fluttered open at the sound of his alarm clock. He groaned.
He was dreaming.
He groaned as he fought to turn it off. He's like,
now.
He shielded his eyes from the bright orange light that peeked through his blinds. SpongeBob sighed, throwing his arm over his eyes. What? Realizing that it was a dream, and that this was his bed, it was a mess.
So, did he, like, soak the sheets?
So did Squidward hit it and leave? Like a dad? Like...
Not like a dad. Not in that comparison at all. You're like, did he fuck SpongeBob in the asshole like a dad? I know that's not what you meant, but it just
that's not what I mean. Is that like a dad that goes and leaves for the milk?
Yeah.
Like he just was gone.
Squidward left because he had the milk. That was fucking disgusting. I'm gonna off myself because I said that.
You're curly cute.
I'm gonna curl my hair so I'm cutie patootie. A little bit fruity.
I'm just thinking about what would your hair look like if it was straightened.
Oh my god, it would look horrible.
So we should definitely do that sometime.
No! I love my natural curls.
Come on, it'd be funny.
Look at my natural, look how my curls bounce.
We could straighten my hair too.
Look how my curls bounce.
I have curls too, they're just on and off, but we could straighten each other's hair and then be emo.
My name is Trent. My name is Trent Alzheimer's, dementia, Crow, left lane.
Crow left tentacle.
Crow left tentacle. Yours would be like Maddie. That's all. No, my god, and that fucking new Jamma What video, sorry, off topic. The bad guy has your name. So I need to show it to you when we get back to the office.
Does he?
Yeah, it's like.
Did you tell him who I was? So he's like, he's like,
because his video's about pick me girls, and the pick me girl's named Maddie, but they call her Madison until the very end. But either way, that's your name. So.
You're like, you should send him a message and be like, that's my friend's name.
That's my friend's name. Thank God you're not a pick me.
Oh, it's not gonna go off.
Okay, good.
He threw his pillow to the floor and tossed his blanket off. He could have sworn that he'd put some night clothes on before bed.
Now they smell like cum.
Sighing, he must have kicked them off. I like it when I'm like trying to actually focus. I change.
Kicked it off.
He was hard.
Ew!
And dripping.
Ew!
Okay, I need to finish. Not like him, but. And there was only one way he could relieve himself of the morning wood before he had to go to work.
Is he gonna masturbate with Gary Slime?
Gary must have left the room sometime last night. It was well known to anyone that shared the same room with him was not to be in the same room when he had his little dreams. SpongeBob sighed as he let the hot water run down his back, letting it run through every pore. I hate the fact that I'm imagining the water just squirting out of his holes.
I'm just imagining a whole grown-ass man, muscly like SpongeBob, who's paying the mortgage, crying in the shower.
Sorry.
Oh god. Is it gonna get worse before it gets better? Shit. We asked for porn and this is what we get. The worst.
The boy closed his eyes as he ran his hand down to the great length between his legs, relaxing his face as he began to touch himself. Slowly running his hand back and forth, biting his lip as he tried to come up with some sick fantasy of Squidward sucking his cock, his tongue working its way around him, feeling every vein before he went to suck on the tip. SpongeBob whimpered as he threw his head back, tugging harder before he collapsed to the bottom of the tub, his back leaning against the backside of it as he let the water run down his chest as he began to poke himself.
I look like I'm about to have a fucking chest alien bump out of my chest.
All I can see is like people being like, you can't just do that every time. Like, like they're like,
God, like, ew.
Squidward, he moaned, waiting to dig his nails in the back of his squishy head. Sigh, but this was only in his head. It wasn't the real Squidward.
This story is teaching me how to put a lot of details in my writing. So whenever I write my suicide note, because of this story, I'll have tips.
Not like their kind of.
Be like, I slit my vein one by one. The collateral damage.
Squidward cute tentacles. It was only his imagination. And it was time like this when his imagination could be his worst enemy. Because he wanted so much. All of those kinky dreams of BDSM. It doesn't even say BDSM, it says BDMS.
Butthole.
Body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia!
I know it's supposed to say BDSM, but they fucked up. Dress up, you name it. And it was thoughts like that that only made him want more. And that's if Squidward was even into that kind of stuff.
Your voice is molesting me.
I'm pretty sure that's the point.
So the viewers can also, so me, can get molested again.
Why do you gotta throw the again in there?
Because you just molested me with your voice for the first time. And it's about to happen again. We're going on Maury after this.
No, we're going on Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, that's the one where all the crazies go.
I was like, we're going to Dr. Phil.
And then Catch Me Outside girl goes like, Catch Me Outside, and then she gets punched in the face by Squidward.
Yeah. I like how I have to lock in and then like start talking like that.
Like you can't do it naturally. You're like, oh god, I gotta go to the deep dark
I
place.
hate that I have to like actually focus and lock in to make
You're
myself
like-
sound like that.
You're like, he touched my pussy.
SpongeBob sighed as he shoved his sheets and blankets into the washer. It made quite a mess last night, didn't it? He questioned as he shut the door and turned the machine on, before turning to go to the kitchen to make himself some breakfast.
Oh god, is it gonna get worse? He's gonna fuck his toast.
No, I just... I felt like laughing for no reason. Morning, Gary. SpongeBob greeted as he walked towards the fridge to fetch some milk for a bowl of kelpo. Are you hungry, boy?
No!
He asked as he held up a can of snail po. Sorry, I fucked up. I like how I can't say it like a normal person instead of just saying meow. I'm like, what if I was like, meow?
Do that every time he meows.
Meow. Gary complained, having the yellow square blush. Why, you heard that? He asked as he brought his hand on his cheek. Meow. Wow. And it says in parentheses, who couldn't? SpongeBob's face only turned darker. Oh, was I really that loud? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. It's just that, he said as he turned around to look out the kitchen window, looking over at the Easter Island head. Sorry, I had to think about what the... He just drives me insane, Gary. I can't even get a good night's sleep without waking up to a wet bed. And it's the third time this week. Do you think he heard me? He asked as he turned back to Gary, who just rolled his eyes. Gary, you know I'm not usually like this. I'm not that kind of sponge.
I'm just imagining Squidward opens his window for his morning tea. He's like, what a nice day. And all of a sudden he hears, ah!
SpongeBob shook his head. Meow. Well, meow. I'm a man. I know, but how is this normal? What kind of man dreams about having sex with their neighbor? Because I'm pretty sure I'm the only guy who does that. I can't take that seriously. If people found out... No. If Squidward found out, he'd never talk to me again.
Bitch, he doesn't talk to you anyways.
He'd probably move away again. Or even put a restraining order on me.
Again.
I think I knew exactly. Oh, I don't want that to happen, he said with tears in his eyes. Meow. Meow. Relax, no one will know, is what Gary says.
Oh, that translates Gary.
Yeah, it does translate Gary. SpongeBob sighed, dropping his shoulders. I hope you're right. Come on, let's eat, he said as he handed Gary his bowl.
How much longer is this? Because we can switch off if you want to. Okay, want to switch off?
No.
You're like, no, this is my fucking part.
Now I forgot where I'm at. I gotta Here it is. I think it's split into 3 parts. So if you want it, I don't know. They have lines in between some of them.
Yeah, let's do the parts.
Okay. So you want me to read this one and then you can go on the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh great, here comes the royal pain. Squidward groaned as SpongeBob pushed through the doors, the bell ringing to announce that the fry cook has arrived. Yet the boy said nothing, and just walked towards the kitchen where he could be alone with his thoughts. That surely didn't involve a certain cephalopod. I could be a podcast reader, reading shit like this.
Yes. We already are, but, like, not actually official podcasts.
Well, you know
Just
what I mean?
post on
Well,
YouTube.
you know what I mean? Like they call them narrators, I think. Isn't that what it is? Like a story? I feel like I have a nice voice.
Yes. Mine's like, Gary, welcome to the store.
There seemed to be something different about the sponge today. New glasses? No.
He was whiny!
He didn't wear glasses that he knew of. New shoes? No. Then what was it? Their eyes had met for a second. The way the sponge looked at him, it almost seemed as if he were hiding something. Not that he cared. What? No annoying blurbs this morning? He questioned. And SpongeBob just smiled at him, blushing before he turned away, saying nothing. He just went to the kitchen. Am I molesting you with these words? Is it making it like 100 times worse?
I'm nodding, y'all.
For some reason, Squidward could feel his face heat up. But what for?
That fucking wet mouth noise was not needed.
I'm
That
sorry.
made it worse. That was like you just added a strap on to the voice molestation.
No, I'm sorry. My mouth got really dry, and so I stuck my tongue to like...
It's so gross. You're like, Squidward.
I'm sorry. My mouth got dry, and so I took like my tongue and I like...
Oh, wait until it's my turn, bitch. We'll see how my voice is.
Sorry.
That reminded me of that gorilla episode where the gorilla goes into the ocean and takes off his mask.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Except SpongeBob in this would fuck the chip and the penny and the tissue. We'd use the tissue for sure.
Yeah, use the tissue for sure. I remember that fucking episode, and I was like, that's fucking me.
That is
like,
so me. Exactly. Remember the fucking episode where, that's the same episode where they have like a fucking spanking line? He would totally use that in this story.
He'd probably like it.
He's like,
It was just SpongeBob. All he did was smile at him, but there was something about it that made him blush. The way the sponge stared through him, he didn't even realize he'd been holding his breath. And that smile. For a second, he could have sworn the sponge was another man. And oh, what am I kidding? It's SpongeBob, for crying out loud. He smiles every day, and it's annoying, Squidward added while kicking himself. Order up, SpongeBob announced as he stuck 2 trays out to him. Squidward sighed as he put his dance magazine down and turned to grab the food. One by one, he handed the trays to each customer, until SpongeBob handed him the final tray. Their hands touched. SpongeBob gasped under his breath, quickly letting go. Okay, there you go, Squid, SpongeBob said before sticking his head back into the kitchen. SpongeBob placed his hand over his chest to calm his heart rate. He closed his eyes as he squeezed his hand, breathing. That was weird. Phew. I gotta be more diligent. No more of whatever the heck that was. SpongeBob shook his head as he went back to cooking. Squidward glared at the window, holding his tentacle. That was weird. What just happened? Squidward questioned before turning back to the next customer.
there's one simple answer to both those questions.
It was going to be a long day.
Horny.
I'm thinking of when you were like, no, Harry, you're just horny.
Oh, God. I still think about every day, the one that lives right free in my head is, only give girls 2 pieces.
But only give women 2 pieces.
Only give girls 2 pieces. Like, it was so off-key from what I was singing, it made it funnier. I was like, give me some grits. And then you were like, only give girls 2 pieces. Us quoting past moments from the show.
I know, if someone's like actually a fan of this show, then they're like listening to all of this and they're like, oh my God, I remember that.
So that was like episode 55, 56, 55. One of those.
The rest of the day had been filled with some awkwardness. Their eyes would meet, or they would accidentally bump into one another. Squidward's tentacles would wrap around his small, square body, causing him to tremble at the touch of his crush's tentacles. SpongeBob raced inside his pineapple house. Slamming the door behind him, he rubbed his face, cursing to himself under his breath.
Meow.
SpongeBob dropped his hands, shaking his head. He quickly walked past him. Sorry, Gare Bear, not right now. I'll see you later. He said
Not the fucking stuttering!
He said as he raced up the stairs, leaving Gary alone at the bottom of the stairs. SpongeBob locked the door behind him. His hands raced to unbutton his shirt. He began to dig into his barrel cabinet next to his bed.
Start digging in your butt!
That's exactly what he's about to do, and I need you to
He's about to start digging in his butt.
Throwing a toy onto the bed before jumping onto the bed. He raced to kick off his shorts. His member laid back over his chest, already
on
hard.
his fucking chest? How big is his sponge cock?
He's not very big. SpongeBob groaned as he lubed himself up and then wrapped one of his hands around his shaft and began to rub himself.
I need one of those airplane bags that people breathe in when they have a panic attack.
I might have one in there.
No,
I
I'm
doubt
good.
I do.
It probably has
I used to have a bunch of puke bags in here, so
we need them right now.
I forgot. Okay. Taking his turquoise-colored toy, the closet color he could find that reminded him of his neighbor. That's so fucking weird. How the fuck do you know the color of the inside of his closet? Okay. He pressed the head of the toy against his entrance after applying lube, slowly easing it in. I'm sorry, I looked at you and I laughed.
I don't like that you looked at me and then said it. You pointed the words directly at me, so they hit me in the face.
I'm sorry.
You're like, he fucked his asshole really hard. He slowly,
I like to see your reaction.
he slowly lubed up his cock. God. Let's just finish this part and then I'm gonna read my part.
You have like this little part and then I have to read again. Anyway.
No, you read like 2 parts in a row. I'm gonna read for a while.
Okay, you can read these 2 then.
Hell yeah.
Okay. He began to thrust the toy in and out of him as fast and as hard as he could. His hand worked at the top of his head, his eyes rolling to the back of his head as he pleasured himself.
Dear Lord, if you were there, please. That's all I have to say.
Squidward, he cried as he thrusted it further in. He arched his back, sitting up on his toes. I'm sorry.
There's like a few words.
There's only a few words left. Or well, and then you have to read, but SpongeBob shook his head. This usually worked. But there were times that not even his trusty Squiddy imitation toy was enough. Especially when he knew that it was fake. He needed something real. He needed a real man. But Squidward would never. SpongeBob dropped his toy and hand to his side. He knew of a place where he could go and maybe get lucky.
Is he gonna fuck Patrick? That would be awful, considering what our fucking logo is. Well, you know what? We're not SpongeBob and Patrick. Our lipstick is, so it's different.
It'd be really funny if we did that in real life.
Did what? Like made ourselves look like SpongeBob and Patrick?
No, like paint our mouths to be like SpongeBob
Oh
and Patrick.
I love how my mouth on this thumbnail has a fuck ass like little teeth in there. So if you're listening to this, look at my face. I want you to look at that face while I read this to you.
I want you to look. Sorry.
SpongeBob threw a dress shirt over his body, slowly buttoning up. He flipped his collar up and slipped his solid black tie around his neck. He stood in front of the standing floor mirror. As he fixed himself, he looked good. He then picked up a black blazer and put it on. He whistles to himself as he combs his hair back. He sprays a little bit of manly cologne on. You smell nice, he said as he tugged at his blazer. Turning to Gary, how do I look? He asked. Meow! Oh, meow! Ready to kill. SpongeBob laughs and pets Gary. Thanks, wish me luck, Gare. I'll be home later, maybe. Maybe, he says as he turns to leave the room. I'll take a Mai Tai, my good sir. SpongeBob points out to the bartender as he sat down at the bar. The place was a nice little club for young people. The Trap, as they called it. New and just a fun place to be. It's great to see you again, Mr. SquarePants. How long has it been? Nearly a year since I last saw you. I almost thought that you might have found another bar, but true to you. So, the man leaned closer to him as the sponge sipped on his beautiful drink. You come too, you know. He grinned as he gestured toward the boy's pants that were hidden by the bar table. I don't like that he's calling him a boy. Ew. And SpongeBob laughed. You know me, I don't suppose you'd want to. SpongeBob bit his lip. And the man shook his head. I would, but while you were sleeping, I kind of found someone. The man nodded and SpongeBob laughed. Wow, really? I had no idea. SpongeBob began while he failed to notice a party going on in the corner, where a familiar octopus sat, laughing and chatting with his rich friends, announcing that all their drinks were on him. Squilliam was at the bar as well, celebrating his new accomplishment. Here's to the guest of honor at Toast to Squilliam's great performance, shouted one of the rich men. Many females. Ew.
Females.
I hate when people refer to many females sat around him, either rubbing his chest, running their grabby fins up his leg, grabby fins up leg, or petting his head, while Squilliam wasn't looking for the company of women as much as they wanted his. Alas, there seemed to be no good men here that fit his type. For all that he could see until the doors opened to a bright yellow sponge, he walked in and breathed the young air of the bar before walking towards the bar table, greeting the bartender. His maroon-shaded eyes rarely left the sponge. For a man, he looked a lot younger than he was. How'd they even let such a thing in? Not that it mattered. He loved young, lone wolves. Ew. Squilliam called over one of the servers. Yes, Mr. Fancy Son. The woman blushed. What are you looking at right now? When you find your favorite dick sucker, nothing else. Ew! She showed me a video of a fish sucking another fish's dick. So.
That was a snail.
That's terrible timing with this story.
I'm sorry. But I was just saying, I was like, oh.
I don't want to see it again. Well, congratulations. I'm really happy for you. You'll invite me to the wedding, right? He asked. The man nodded before the two of them looked down at a glass of champagne that was slid to him. He glanced back at the man before looking at the woman. I'm sorry, miss, but I think you got this mixed up. This isn't mine, he said. He slid back to her, and she just smiled. It's a gift, she said. Oh, SpongeBob said before he looked at the bartender, who just shrugged. Well, thank you, miss. You're very kind. He smiled, and she just smiled. It's not from me, silly. It's from that gentleman over there. She gestured towards the table behind her. SpongeBob cautiously looked behind her. His eyes find the familiar-looking cephalopod. Squidward? No, not Squidward. Squilliam. Squidward's arch-rival in here. Buying him a drink? He quickly turned away. Wonder why he would buy me a drink. Think it's meant for someone else? He asked the bartender as he looked to his right to find a woman sitting a few seats down. It had to be for her. Well, he was looking at you. Maybe he likes you, he grinned. And SpongeBob scoffed, shaking his head. As if he'd have to be drunk to fuck me, he said. Bet it's poisoned, he laughed. Oh, you've seen right through my ruse. Squilliam spoke from behind him. And SpongeBob jumped, spilling the liquid all over his nice pants. Oh, barnacles. Sorry, SpongeBob apologized as he began to swipe his hand over his crotch to get some of the alcohol off. Can I help you? SpongeBob asked, and Squilliam grinned as he leaned up against the bar next to him, glancing down at the boy's pants for a second. I don't like that they're calling him a boy.
I know. I was going to say something about that. They keep saying boy, and I'm like, ew.
This next part's worse. As a matter of fact, you can. You seem like a fun kid. Stop calling him a kid. Don't call him a boy. This is an adult. Please come sit with me. You seem so lonely over here by yourself. Squilliam grinned as he pulled him to his feet. SpongeBob sighed as he sat down next to Squilliam, who handed him another glass of champagne. Are you sure I'm allowed over here? I mean, I don't have that kind of money to spend. I came here for two things, and if... Nonsense. I invited you over. I can cover for you. After all, I'm rich. Squilliam laughed. So tell me, you're an attractive lad. What's your name? Squilliam asked as he leaned closer to the sponge, sliding his arm on the back of the seat behind the boy. SpongeBob, he answered as he glanced at the arm that rested behind him. Was this guy serious? Flirting with him at a time like this? He had to be kidding. Wait, you're Squiddy's young friend, aren't you? Squilliam asked, a little surprised that he knew the sponge. Now that I think about it, you did look really familiar. So is he here with you? Squilliam asked, where is he? Listen, Squilliam, I really don't want to talk about him right now, at least not with you, he said as he scratched the back of his head. Right, so what are you doing here in a place like this? Squilliam asked, and SpongeBob hummed. I'm here for the drinks, he said as he held up his own drink. And Squidward nodded. Right, but that can't be all, can it? He shook his head. I mean, he glanced at the boy's black pants again. Stop calling him a fucking boy. Well, I don't really want to talk about it. You wouldn't understand.
Squidward.
This is silent time. We're going to play a game called I Read. Simon says, shut the fuck up.
I'm going to need you to log off.
I'm going to need you to log off for me. Well, I don't really want to talk about it. You wouldn't understand. SpongeBob shook his head. Try me. He bit his lip as he scooted closer to the boy. Placing his hand on his thigh, having the boy blush, he could feel himself come onto something familiar.
I was like...
his hand rub his thigh. Isn't he the cutest little thing you've ever seen? Squilliam asked his friend, who all stared at the boy. Anytime he says boy, I'm going to say man now, because I don't like that. Who all stared at the man, glaring at him. That was their rich man. And then he comes this peasant to steal him away. SpongeBob continued to blush, scooting back a little. I gotta go to the restroom, he says. He stood up, pushing his tentacle off him before he left like it was nothing. Squilliam let out an awkward chuckle before he turned his attention back to the sponge, who disappeared to the crowd. SpongeBob bit his lip as he stared down at himself, shaking himself off before zipping himself up, walking to the sink to wash his hands. SpongeBob sighed as he looked into the mirror as Squilliam walked in. So this is where you ran off to. I thought they might have ditched me, he shrugged. Not like it would hardly matter. You have plenty of rich friends to play with, SpongeBob said as he shook his hands off as Squilliam leaned against the counter next to him. What if I don't want to play with my friends? What if I wanted to play with you? He asked. And SpongeBob just shook his head, smiling as he raised his hands. You know I didn't come here to make friends, right? I know why you're here. I'm here for the same thing, Squilliam said as he stepped up to the sponge, standing just a few inches in front of him before he forced himself on the sponge. SpongeBob gasped, being pushed against the stall next to the sink. Squilliam! SpongeBob gasped as he pushed him out of the harsh kiss. Isn't this what you came here for? Squilliam asked, his face just inches in front of his. Yeah, but I didn't think that you'd want to. SpongeBob bit his lip. Why is SpongeBob literally being played by Kristen Stewart in this? SpongeBob bit his lip. This was a bad idea. But he really needed this? And Squilliam, he was the closest thing to Squidward he had, even if he was Squidward's rival. What Squidward doesn't know won't hurt him, right? SpongeBob said before he kissed him back, and Squilliam scoffed before he pushed himself against the sponge. SpongeBob moaned, wrapping his arms around his back as he slid one of his legs around him, before Squilliam sat him on the counter, pushing between his legs as SpongeBob's hand continued down his back, disrupting his shirt. SpongeBob moaned as Squilliam started to grind himself against the boy, feeling his cock that was hidden beneath his layers of clothing. He ran his tentacles up the boy's stomach, pulling of the blazer before he began to unbutton his shirt, slowly exposing the yellow flesh beneath before SpongeBob pushed him back a little. Something wrong? Squilliam asked, both of them still panting. I don't want to do it here. Let's go somewhere else, he suggested, and Squilliam smirked. My place? He asked, staring down at the sponge, who nodded. SpongeBob moaned as he was pushed against the door leading to Squilliam's room, moaning as the two ripped each other's clothes off. SpongeBob panted, grunting as he bumped into his bed. SpongeBob bit his lip as they tugged the rest of their clothes off, and he stood in all his naked glory. Squilliam awed, looking down at the little treasure he'd just found, running his tentacles down the yellow chest before gripping his cock in his hand. Oh dear, Neptune! Oh dear, Neptune! SpongeBob groaned as he began to rub him. SpongeBob moaned before he was pushed on the bed, and his arms pinned above his head. SpongeBob moaned, as he started to rotate his lips, his erection slowly becoming almost painful. Fuck me already, SpongeBob said, growing impatient, which only seemed to amuse the man further. Well, aren't you a little desperate? He scoffed, and SpongeBob just glared up at him before Squilliam leaned down to kiss him, sucking his bottom lip before pulling out. Gross. I'll be right back, Squilliam said as he slid off him and went to the bathroom, leaving the sponge by himself to deal with his problem. SpongeBob moaned as he began to stroke himself a little until he came back, seeing him standing there, shiny and coated in oil. Squilliam just got oiled up, Maddie. He pushed the sponge back down. Oh, I see you already got started without me. Sorry to keep you waiting, he said as he slid his tentacles around him, brushing over every pore, which only drove the sponge matter to the point of exploding. He was already so close. He wasn't sure how much more of this teasing it could take. He gasped as he felt one of Squilliam's tentacles dip into one of his pores. Ew, gross. Oh, you like that, huh? Squilliam chuckled. And SpongeBob just nodded. More please, he begged, digging his toes into the sheets. SpongeBob gasped as he stuffed the rest of his pores. The scraping of his tentacles were just too much for him to handle, and sent him overboard, shooting all over his belly. He panted, but it wasn't enough. What? Was that it? Was that all you could... Squilliam yelped as SpongeBob suddenly had him pinned. He watched as the sponge snapped a condom on his blue cock. Squilliam scoffed, gripping onto the boy's hips as he climbed over him and shoved him in as hard as he could. Gross! SpongeBob panted, his own penis just slapping against the belly as he fucked him, going as hard as either of them were comfortable with. He was a sponge and he needed this. He needed to feel this. Squilliam grinned up at him, letting his tentacles explore the small body, rubbing him. SpongeBob panted, clawing at his face. This is so good. Why didn't you think this before? Below him, he could just picture this being his neighbor. I'm gonna fuck you, SpongeBob panted. That is if someone's gonna fuck me and they start whimpering, that is the most unsexy thing ever. They're like, I'm gonna fuck you. Let me see. SpongeBob. Where was I at? Oh, God. Ew. Squilliam scoffed, gripping the boy's hips. I got there. SpongeBob panted, his own penis, just slapping against his belly as he fucked him, going as hard as either of them were comfortable with. He was a sponge. You need this, You need to feel this. SpongeBob panted, clawing at his face. This was so good, huh? Why didn't they think of this before? Below him, he could just picture this being his neighbor. I'm gonna fuck you, SpongeBob panted, nodding and licking his lip, leaning down to kiss him, sucking on his tongue and biting his lip, panting, breathing in his face. I'm gonna fuck you so hard. You hear me? Huh? He said before he pulled off and flipped him around, standing him on his knees. Squidward cocked his brow as he stared out his window over at his neighbor's house, as a gold limo had stopped outside his house. There was no way in hell that SpongeBob was in there, but when he sponge stepped out, he couldn't believe it. Watching as SpongeBob waved whoever they were off before he limped back to his door. He's fucking limping after Squilliam fucked him. That is so gross, isn't it, Maddie? That's so gross. Back to his door. Gary, I'm home, SpongeBob announced from the door. Meow. SpongeBob smiled. Well, that's not really any of your business now, is it? He asked as he walked around the snail. Meow. What do you mean, what's wrong with me? This is how I always walk. SpongeBob blushed. Meow. Let's forget about it, okay? Are you hungry? SpongeBob asked as he walked towards the kitchen. Okay, so that was the end of the chapter. So, okay, we want to do our intro, Maddie? Our outro?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.